friends, foes, folks, hello. Welcome to the Maker Bee podcast. I'm Bee. I make stuff. Maker Bee. I know it's pretty complicated. My podcast. We're doing it. Hi, welcome back. It is summer. I am so sweaty. How are you? Every knitter's favorite season is summer, right? We all love summer. Yeah, I don't. But we're here. I'm not wearing any knits today because it's too warm. I do have on my little sheep earring. I don't know if you can see my little sheep in there. They're a little noisy, but they're cute. So I'm wearing those. And that's what I'm wearing for knitting. And I always have my knitting tattoos. So, you know. I'm going to give you such fair warning today. Like, such fair warning. I plan on yapping. Like, fully talking for there's so much that's happened. Quick rundown. I got moths. Terrible. Went to Knit City. Amazing. And I'm currently washing a fleece so I can spin it. So, a lot going on. Where to start? Well, right after my last podcast, I got moths. And you know what? I'm talking about it because it isn't actually that scary, okay? I know it sounds terrible and we're all terrified and it is like the worst possible thing that could happen to any of us, but it wasn't actually that bad. I lost 2 sweaters, like irreversibly, and a pair of socks irreversibly, and I can mend the rest and it'll be fine. But they weren't in my stash, they were just in my finished objects. They just found my knitting and dove in. I got a few, I shared on Instagram like what I did after I got moths, and I got a few requests to either like make a post sharing tips and tricks or like explain what I did or didn't do, and I hesitate to do that because on the internet that's like the kind of thing that like every armchair expert comes out and like shares their opinion on. So I'm going to very hesitantly say that I got moths and it wasn't as stressful for me because based on science and not fear-mongering, which I think happens a lot in the knitting world, it isn't actually that scary. So, yippee. So why it wasn't that scary is number one, moths like to nest and live in things that you don't actually wear, that are unwashed. So they're attracted to like human stink, salt, like that kind of thing. So socks, underarms of sweaters, or like if you get a little bit of like food splooge on your sweater and don't clean it, they're attracted to that as well. It is the larvae, so the babies that eat your yarn or your wool or your finished object to create like a cocoon, and that's part of the life cycle. If you see a moth flying around, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have moths, but you should kill it because it could lay eggs and then the eggs eat your yarn. And something that I think is interesting to talk about, especially because all my yarn is out here like this. I know people are terrified to have their yarn out, but moths really hate sunlight and fresh air. So my yarn was untouched, basically. My yarn that I use and like go through all the time, completely untouched by these moths. They didn't even, like there's not a lick on any of my skeins because they're in the sunlight, they have sunshine, and I touch them a lot. The items that I did lose are items that I used to wear a lot, but I don't wear as much anymore. So they were unmoved for a while. It takes a few days for these like moth larvae to figure themselves out and eat your stuff. So if you're always checking your wool and like moving things around, the safest knit is like a well-loved knit. Like they're not going to nest in a sweater that you have on the back of your couch because you put it on all the time. You're only going to nest in things that are like a little stinky, so like socks that are folded and put away nicely. You can always put yourself in airtight containers. That'll keep it safe, but I can't live like that. If I can't see my stuff, I'm not going to wear it, and I simply need to be able to touch my stuff. And so I'm okay with losing 2 sweaters that I haven't worn in 2 years and a couple pairs of socks. I'm okay with that, you know? So this is my yarn on the wall and my sweaters being strewn everywhere is my fault for not having things put away in tight containers. But if you're also like me and you don't want to put your items away in like air sealed double layer containers, you'll be okay. It's not going to be the end of the world. You will catch the moths before they eat everything. Just check your knitting. You know, it doesn't happen immediately. It happens, it's a long process. So just take care of your stuff, man. That's all I can say. So yeah, I got moths and it was terrible. But it was an opportunity because, so I'm officially telling the podcast, I'm actually moving across the entire country, 5,000 kilometers to the West Coast. So I'm obviously an East Coast at heart. Like, that is my life, right? I'm an East Coaster. But I'm going back to school, and Zoe and I are moving to Vancouver. So if I have Vancouver friends, I'd love to meet you. But yeah, I'm a little nervous. I went to high school in Vancouver, and my parents do live there. So it'll be interesting. I think Zoe is really excited to live in a big city. I am not as excited about the move, but, you know, it is what it is. So, but it was an opportunity. So what happened was I washed all my knitting after the moth scare. I washed everything deeply with like vinegar and, you know, really got in there. And I packed it all in suitcases, and when I went back to Vancouver, I took those 3 suitcases with me of all my knitting. So I don't actually really have any of my knitwear with me. It's all in Vancouver at my parents' place. And the only knitwear that I have like in the house currently is my Zakuri cardigan, this finished object that you're going to see in a few minutes, my Sungazer, and that's it? No, there was the last one. Oh, my partner pullover. So those are the 3 things that I kept. But I don't have any knitwear for the summer. I'm shocked. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I guess I got to make stuff, you know? And that's okay. I'll make lots of stuff. Okay, so I flew to Vancouver. I went because I was like, I have to do a trip to Vancouver to bring some stuff, first of all, for Mother's Day. I like putting an effort in with my mom. She puts in a lot of work for me, so I put in some work for her. And my bestie's birthday is always right by Mother's Day, so I like to go and surprise her. There was a couple years there where she had kind of crap birthdays, so I like to put the effort in because she's the best. She deserves the best, right? So went over to Vancouver, saw my bestie on her birthday, and it was so nice. Oh my god. So it was her birthday. We all had a great night. Jason and Ella and I had a really fun time. We had like a couple of drinks, some sushi, and we were walking home, and this girl in front of us, she was so cute. She had like a little leather skirt on, the beautiful like long hair, and like the big lips, you know? And she's like, holy fucking shit. Holy fucking shit. And we were like, oh my god, what's happening? And she's looking at this guy, and she's like, oh my god, holy shit. And so we looked up, and it was the Northern Lights, and we had no idea that was supposed to happen, and we wouldn't have even seen it if it wasn't for her. So we looked up, and we were like, holy fucking shit. Oh my god, that's so cool. That was like a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It was incredible. It was so beautiful. Dear viewer, I hope that in your lifetime you have a chance to see the Northern Lights because they're incredible. Yeah, they were awesome. Very inspiring, you know? You're like, wow, I'm so small, the world's so big. And that rocks, you know? So we did her birthday, and then Mother's Day, we had a really nice day. So this person I'm talking about, Ella, her mom and my mom are best friends. And her and I are, you know, best friends. And so it's very adorable, you know? Like, mom best friends, kid best friends. And so we spent Mother's Day together, which was so nice. We did like a hike and did a nice walking, had a good picnic, hung out. It was awesome. So yeah, I am really excited for moving to Vancouver to see maybe more time with my family, which will be great. And then so I also planned this trip at this time because I was like, well, flying from Halifax to Vancouver, you always have to stop somewhere in the middle of the country. You can get direct flights like in the middle, like in the peak of summer, but you can't get direct flights most of the time. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop in Toronto on the way back, and what if I stopped and saw my buddy Emma and also went to Knit City? So that's what I did. I went and saw my buddy Emma. She's awesome. She was having a great time. We were having a great time together. It was super fun. I got to meet her girlfriend for the first time. That rocked. And I was knitting up a storm. And from there, I went to Knit City and met so many people. Oh, it was so fun. I am a like crochet the knitting world like event like convert, I guess. Like I'm not a convert necessarily because I wasn't against it before, but I just like the you know, your cup's so full. I feel like I was walking around. There was a vendor who was like, I've seen you walking around a lot. And I was like, yeah, I have been. I'm not like buying stuff. I just like looking at everybody and seeing everything. She was like, I really, like, I've seen you walking around. And I was like, I'm sorry, I don't want to leave. Like, I'm having so much fun. Yeah, meeting everybody, oh, it was incredible. Yeah, it just, like, just makes your heart so warm, right? Like, it's just, yeah. Oh my god! Also, something lovely that happened on the flight from Vancouver to Toronto. I get on the plane, I'm sitting down in the aisle seat, I get up, and the person who is, like, coming to sit in the window seat has, like, one of those, like, classic, like, drawstring bags with the loop on top that was, like, a very, like, that's like a knitting bag, you know? Like, you know what a knitting bag looks like. It looks like a knitting bag. So I was like, oh, is that a knitting bag? And she was like, yeah, it's a knitting bag. And I was like, you going to Knit City? And I got to meet Tracy. So I have a new friend. Her name is Tracy. She's knitting on the float, I think across most things. But basically we just sat and chatted about knitting and, like, knitting world stuff the entire time on the flight. It was so sweet. Like, I think we both had, like, stuff queued up to watch and listen to, but we just kept chatting, and that's a 4-hour flight, you know? Like, it was so nice. It was awesome. And she's doing a secretive test knit, and I was knitting my, like, another thing that I'll show you in a sec. And it was just lovely. It was lovely, lovely, lovely. It was, like, the best thing that could have happened. And I have a new friend now, so that rocks. Hi, Tracy, if you're watching. It was so nice to meet you. Something else that was really sweet and, like, I think felt really interesting was that Tracy and I don't know the same, like, podcasters, designers, like, like, fiber companies. We have such separate spheres of the internet, like the algorithm, I guess. So she's, like, name dropping all the people who are, like, I find out later are quite famous, who I've never heard of. And I'm like, I don't know. And I'm talking to people that she's never heard of. And I'm like, the knitting world is vast and beautiful. And sometimes you make me feel on a plane. And it's awesome. So yes, back in the city. First of all, I want to say thank you, like, so much to people who watch the channel, who know me from this thing that I do, and said hi. I was like, oh, that's awesome. It was so nice to meet people and also make new friends. I was just like, it feels just so nice. I was like, we know each other? That's, you spend time watching this? I forget that you guys are actually out there, like, actually watching this, you know, knitting or crocheting, whatever you're doing your dishes. And it's, I don't know, like, I'm not trying to, like, I felt special, but I was like, I feel so grateful for, people's time, I guess. Like, it's, thank you for your time, I guess. Not to get too sappy or whatever, early in here, but yeah, it was so nice to meet people and be like, oh my god, wow, thank you. That's so nice. This is my favorite thing to do in the whole wide world right now. It's, like, my favorite hobby, even more than knitting and spinning and crochet. So it's cool that other people enjoy it. So yeah, that was really, really nice. And then, you know, more importantly than people telling me they like, you know, boosting my ego, I got to meet my friends, like, internet friends who I'd never met before. And I got to meet in real life, and it just rocked. Like, it was awesome. I'm not gonna name drop everybody, but it was, I don't know, it was just, I hope everybody in the world gets to feel as happy as I felt when I was at Knit City. It was so nice. Yeah, it was awesome. I especially love just, like, I don't know, talking to strangers. You just talk to everybody because you all have something in common to talk to, right? Talk about, right? Like, it's so nice. Yeah. Okay, so I obviously have not been doing a lot of purchasing and spending. I haven't been a big spender recently. Because I'm moving. And I'm telling you the reason why I'm not spending money. I'm moving, so why would I buy new stuff? And yet here we are. I do feel that I much, much, much prefer shopping at a yarn event like this as opposed to something else, because I've been loving meeting the people who's making the stuff, even some of the farmers who are, like, shearing sheep. Like, that's incredible. And knowing who my money's going towards. It's really nice. So yeah, I discovered a bunch of new businesses that I really like, and I'm gonna follow once I get back on the internet. You'll notice that I haven't been on Instagram. Or maybe you haven't noticed, and good on ya, because who needs to monitor what I'm up to, right? But I've been off Instagram. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm an enlightened person now. I'm, you know, better than everyone who's on social media. I'm joking, obviously. I just took a break because I wanted to, and you know what? I'm sad to say, I think it's making me a better person. I have read 20 books in the last month. That's all I do is read now. I can talk more about reading later, but I want to show you some stuff first. But I'm off Instagram. Please don't unfollow me. I promise I'll be back, but right now this is the medium that is calling to me. So here's what I'm doing. Cool. Okay, what did I buy at Knit City? I spent a lot of money at Knit City. I had a budget. I saved my money. I had my yarn budget. I wonder if people would be interested in hearing about how I budget for not just knitting, but like I have like a craft budget, and I would be interested in talking about that because in my last episode I was like, oh yeah, like the fabric for the back of my quilt is out of my budget, and everyone's like, well, you could try this, you could try this, and I was like, oh no, I just spent my budget for the month, and I have spent the budget for this month as well. So buying the backing for my quilt will be a June purchase probably. And it's not that it's like I can't afford it, it's like that I have a budget that I stick to, because when you have impulse spending habits like I do, you gotta stick to a budget. Yeah, I did do some impulse spending as well, but I got my budget and I bought stuff with my budget and I'm stoked about it, so let me show you what I bought, okay? So at Knit City, I purchased several many things. I want to show you first of all the yarn that I got from Crux Fibres. Brittany is everything to me. She is, I think, my favorite, I don't know, individual in the whole wide world. If you don't follow Brittany, you can find her at Crux Fibres, pretty much on everything. And this is going to be a untreated BFL, 2-ply, and the colorway name is Galaxy. I've been really into like darker and more muted colors recently. Maybe not darker, but more jewel tones as opposed to pastels. As you can tell from what I'm wearing, I'm not really into pastels anymore. Joking, obviously, but I'm gonna make a shawl with this guy. I've been into shawls recently, especially like the same repeat over and over again. I also just like wanted to give Brittany all my money because I love giving her my money because I really love her. But shipping in Canada is like comical. Like the prices for shipping are ridiculous. And it's really hard on small business owners that people have to like, it's like 20 bucks to ship like a little thing across the country. So buying in person rocks. So I was trying to buy as much as possible in person. For the thing that's going to happen soon. That happens the beginning of July every year that I started for this first time. Last year, Tour de Fleece. Hey, when Tour de Fleece happens this year, I bought a bunch of yarn to make, fiber to make yarn with. There we go. I seen my buddy Annabelle, they have a Moon Crush in Handspun, and I'm like, I want to go to there. That's what I want. So this might be for making a Moon Crush. I've got 4 braids of this guy. I don't know how much I can get out of it. I'm not very good at getting like high yardage out of my spins. And Brittany was telling me that if I do long draw, I could get more yardage. So I've been looking into long draw. I do definitely short draw. I love a high twist yarn. Like I love like a really like thick. Do I have any examples? Not really, but maybe I'll get into long draw and make the most out of my 4 braids of this and make a Moon Crush. But this is what I'm saying in terms of colors. Like I'm into like this 80s teal a lot more, and I'm back into yellow. Yellow was a very original bee thing. Not really who I am anymore, but when I was younger, for sure. So I bought those, and also from Brittany, I brought this beautiful sheepy stitch marker. Oh my goodness. Isn't he sweet? Yeah. But Brittany made this guy. So cutie. And it was the only sheep there, and I had it in my hand, and one of the nice people I met was like, oh, I want that. And I was like, oh no, I'm so sorry. Don't want to be that a-hole, right? Who's like, oh, well, I was the only one, but I had to be that a-hole because it was the only one. And I'm going to love it so much. And then maybe I'll pass it on to someone else, and that'll be cool. Okay, so new to me, people that I didn't know, but who Tracy introduced me to, Thread and Maple. This little thing right here. Hide my face behind it so you can see it. Thread and Maple. They are a leather company, and I just loved this little, you got scissors here, Got darning needles, and then in the back, this guy, which I didn't even realize before I bought it, is full of stitch markers. What? I'm hiding. So there we go. Incroyable. I love this. Yeah, but it's the perfect size, and it has everything. And it's gonna go right in my project bag. Well, it has actually already been in my project bag. I took it out to show you. So there you go. There's 2 more things that I bought at Knit City that I want to show you. I got this braid of Hanoi, I believe. Hanoi, sorry. Hanoi. I got this braid of Hanoi, which also could be the French name for it, because this is all in French. It's just a comb top, but I just loved these colors. Once again, I'm in my darker colors era. A bit richer, maybe. But yeah, I just thought that was pretty. So, new to me, the people running this, Aurora Artifacts. Yeah, Aurora Artifacts. Aurora? It's just Aurora Artifacts. Artifacts, with British accent. But these folks were really funny. They were great. They were rocking the booth, yeah. Then I went to the Knitting Loft. Everyone's favorite yarn store, to be honest. Maybe not. I love it. They're not my favorite because I gotta stick to my Nova Scotia yarn stores. I gotta give them my love, but if I didn't live here and I wasn't so loyal, they'd be my favorite. I got these, so I went with a purpose. These are gonna be a heirloom cardigan. All jewelry, I think like jewel tones, jewels, gems, the lot of them. This is Gilead La Merino Cardé. C'est ça! Sophie fabrique à partir de la laine douce et gonflante de merino à l'air de l'air, élevé rétrospectivement en Provence. Pour certaines couleurs chinaises, elle est associée à la celle de merinos noirs, Portuguese. Alexandrine, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry. Any of my French friends, I'm deeply apologetic. But the names are really fun. So yeah, this is Gilead. This guy is Coffre de Rose. This guy is La Matite. Oh my god, I took 5-10 years of French in school. Potimeron. Printemps. Spring. I know that one. Emeraude, which I assume is emerald. Some gorgeous stuff, but I had a purpose, and I went there, and I was like, my purpose for Knit City was to get yarn for this, but then I realized the yardage for the sweater is very low, so we'll see how it works out, but I'm happy with those. And then, we're getting into whips here. The reason I went to the Knitting Loft, I was on the bus for like an hour and a half each way. I went for this, and are you like, hey B, is that Spin Cycle? And I say, yeah. And you say, isn't Spin Cycle superwash? You weren't buying superwash anymore? I'd say, yeah. But I bought these so I could finish my Beads of Joy pullover. Now, if you've been watching for a year, because it's been that long, you'll know that I finished this back panel, and it will be the back because it's a piece of work. I finished this back panel of my Beads of Joy about a year and a half ago. Nope, a year ago. And then I cast on the front panel. And then I lost the front panel. Like, fully lost it. And I tried to find it for months and months, and I couldn't find it. So I went to the Knitting Loft to get these so I can finish. I'm putting my big boy pants on, and I'm biting the bullet, and I bought more new yarn so I'm not going to let it go to waste, right? I'm already here. So this is the front. It'll look like this. And then it's interesting. This is probably a very different like color lot than these ones were, but I liked how green it looked. So I wanted to add some green in there just for some interest. It's all in the same, it's in the same world, you know? But I will finish this. Oh my god. But this is what I was bringing on the plane ride. When I was talking to Tracy, I literally did like 3 sections, and it usually takes me a day to do a section, so it's pretty good for what it is here. This is my yeah, third time doing one of the panels, so I feel very competent. My first attempt here is so ugly, and this one is much nicer. So this is the front, this is the back, and it's all good. So yeah, that is, those are the things that I purchased. I think that's, oh, no, I'm so sorry. I have one more thing to show you that I purchased, then I promise I'm done, because I truly believe that this is the most boring part. Oh, I've got actually a few more things. I'm sorry. This is the most boring part of a podcast, so I do it first. But so I got this Gathering Color field notebook. It's about a book, but I can get the book from my library, but I wanted to support Ash of Sunflower Knits. All of their stuff got lost by Canada Post. So I wanted to stop by their booth and just pick some stuff up. These are natural dye plants, group 1. I was going to give this to my buddy. Actually, I'm not going to show it anymore because I might give it to my buddy, so don't look. And then I also got this sheep and wool coloring book from an actor, yeah, who worked with like a designer, and it's just like I love coloring, so it smells so sheepy. That's lovely. Okay, and my big spend through all of this, my big purchase was these, and this is an interchangeable set from Collage Needles. I had seen them and like heard of them before, but to be frank, I don't like their design. I don't like, navy blue is very ugly to me. I've seen like their packaging looks very like elementary school teacher almost, like kind of what I would have had like as a pencil case in grade 1, and I was like, I don't like that. And then my buddy was talking about them, and I learned so much more. So their parent company, called something something, I'll put their parent company name right there. Their main goal, they're like a social enterprise, so their main goal is providing employment for adults with disabilities who would struggle to find employment elsewhere or need to gain employment skills to find employment elsewhere. So I was like, party. I love anything disability centric, so I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot, and I wanted to try the needles out, and then I realized they were square needles, because guess what, square needles are better on your hands, better for people with joint like inflammation, I believe, from what I read on the internet, and everything you read on the internet is true, so definitely don't fact check me on that one. Please fact check me. But they're square, so, and also I needed a new needle set because not needed, but kind of needed. So maybe this time I'll keep all these needles together and I won't lose them. But it goes from 2mm here, not 3mm, all the way to a 6mm. And it's just, I got the smallest size possible. But what I really liked about them specifically is, do you know like a barber cord? They have this as their interchangeable needle. Like it's so floppy. You can see just how like squishy and flopsy it is. Like it's not like a regular cord. It's more like a string. And I was very interested in that for a magic loop. And also just because I don't like when my needle gets kinky. Like it's all kinky. Like it's kinky. I don't like that at all. I like everything not kinky. No kink at all. Thank you very much. So I'm gonna try these out. This isn't like nothing I ever do is sponsored or anything. I'm just some guy, okay? But I really like these guys. Like I like their mission. I like that they're a social enterprise, and I also like their design. So I'm excited to try them out, and I'll report back on what I think and feel. I'm sure it'll all be good. And that's everything I bought. I swear to God. Oh my God. So we did one of my works in progress. I'm gonna show you the other, which is nothing exciting and special. I just got back on my sock train. You'll know that I'm trying to make 16 pairs of socks this year. I've made 2. It's literally June. Not yet, but we're almost there. This is the broken rope sock from the Hello Sailor, from Summerly Knits. Summerly Knits is Hello Sailor sock set, broken rope. I make these a lot. This is the colorway, it's another word that I can't pronounce, Villa Marlia 3. It's a dye lot, and it's from Richard something or other, and it's 80% superwash, 20% nylon. And I'm just trying to work through all my superwash, and I don't know why I picked these up. These colors aren't really my colors usually, but I really liked how they all look so fun together. Like they all looks like a summer beach party, you know? So I did do my opposite you know, like decrease less on this side, more on this side to accommodate my toe. And something I want to point out that was really cute, I thought, is the color pooling on the heel. It pooled blue here, and then like I thought it was, I had to, it stopped. We're trying again. Sorry. Just want to show you the pooling in the sock. I like how it's blue here and yellow orange. I think it's so cute. And I'm just partway through the second sock, so you'll see that finished next time. It'll only taken about a week, but it's pretty good. So yeah, I haven't been working on my stripe pipe sweater. I left that here, but I'm going to Ireland in the beginning of June, so I'm trying to have that finished before I get there. So we'll see. I'm not sure if I'm going to podcast before that, because there's not a lot going to be able to show you, but it's 3 weeks from now, so we'll see. Okay, so that is all my whips. I have it all written down here, so I don't forget anything. Broken rope. But yeah, I gotta do the sleeves on my stripe pipe still. Oh, before I show my finished objects, I'll hide that. I have been processing a fleece. So my buddies Kate and Adam have a farm. People just like give them stuff, and someone gave them a fleece, and they're not sure when, how long ago, whatever, but I've been processing that fleece. We don't know what kind of sheep it is. We don't know anything about it. I've just been washing it, you know, carding, picking, and processing. So out of my drum carder that I got on the Facebook Marketplace, I have been able to get these bats of mystery wool. You can tell they still have some VM in them, but it's looking good. I'm pretty happy with this. They're pretty long staple length, and I'm really happy with how this is looking. But my goal is to get this processed and spun up so that I can give the finished yarn back to Adam, because he likes to knit, and they gave me the fleece, so I want to I'll you know, take a little bit of it and then give them most of it, because it was so nice of him to, you know, give me that fleece. People just like give them stuff. So I'm also thinking about dyeing it before I spin it, so we'll see how that goes. But we'll see how that goes. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so finished objects. I've been sewing a lot, but not as much as I was sewing because I've been gone. There's no sewing machine in BC. That's a lie. I have one with butterflies on it from when I was a kid that my parents kept that I might be able to sew on when I go to BC. Anyways, free range slacks. Thrifted fabric, just like this pinstripe teal situation. I made size 20, I believe. And I used cotton thread, which was kind of a dumb mistake, but they're really baggy on me, so there shouldn't be any problems. I like them a lot. The things that I like about them, I like that there's a panel on the side, because I feel like that's really good for making things smaller and bigger in the future. And I liked how easy, I think they sewed them in one day, and it was super simple. And they're definitely too big on me, and I'll make the size 18 next time, but until then, it's okay. I love working with thrifted fabric. I do hate the smell of other people. You know, other people's stink it's other people's stink, right? Like, it stinks. So, yeah, the steam really billows with old lady stench, which is fine for old ladies, but not what I want to have in my nostrils all the time, unfortunately. So yeah, my pants. Good pants. They're pretty warm, so I won't be wearing them anytime soon, but they're good for fall. And the very last thing, what I wore in Knit City, what I'm very proud of, this is my Sungazer. Isn't she lovely? This is the Sungazer by James & Watts. I'm using Spin Cycle in Big Sky. It's reversible, so you can wear this side in the front, or you can wear this side in the front. I like this one more personally, but the other one's cool too. I wore this to Knit City. People liked it. Thanks, people. I liked it. Thanks, me. And yeah, it was a really, really, really fun knit. So in terms of modular knitting, James has several patterns. I think most of them call for sport weight. I could be so wrong on that, so, you know, don't take my word for it. But I've done this one, and I'm halfway through again, the beads of joy. So you start with this guy in the center, and then you go up, and then you pick up stitches, and then you knit out like this, and then you pick up stitches and you knit out like that, and you kind of go in a circle until you finish the last piece. And it is so fun. Like, what a fun pattern. What a silly fun time. It's so popcorny because, first of all, with color changing yarn, you're getting a lot of like interest, and then also when you like, it's much easier to knit one panel than it is to knit like, or it's more satisfying to knit one panel than it is to knit like 5 rows of stockinette, you know? So really, really fun. I am so happy with this one. I would make another probably, but I'm gonna work through the other patterns first before I do that. Yeah, it was my Knit City outfit. It was fun. I had a pink mask to match. And I loved it. And the spin cycle is interesting. It's the spin cycle dyed in the wool is very squishy, and it certainly is stretching. Like, it's doing that superwash thing that superwash does. It's pretty hard to do it like them though, hey? Like, they're really, no one does it like spin cycle. You know, not good for all of our wallets, but certainly beautiful to look at. My god, great colors, so fun. 10 out of 10. Loves it, babes. I'll be wearing this all summer long. I'll be sweating in it. It's fine, it's wool. It'll keep me cool and warm and whatever. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. That's actually a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. I didn't have a lot to show, right? I didn't have I'm not working on a lot, but hopefully next time you'll see my finished stripe pipe, finished socks, and maybe even my beads of joy. I'm just throwing it out there. It's possible. Anything's possible. Okay, well, thanks again for everyone. Thanks for watching. That was everything. Maybe I'll talk about what I'm reading next time. I don't know. But love you. Mean it for real. Have a great rest of your day. Rock on. Okay. Bye.